Hello, testing one, two, three. There we go. We have some sound, folks. It is the Baggataway Cup Championship weekend, and this is the College Sixes showcase. And we're just gonna switch over to the camera. Testing one, two. There we go. We have sound, Jim.
Well
I'm Stephen
done,
Stamp with
Stamper.
Diamond Jim Lowe, and we had a moment of anxiety when the sound inexplicably disappeared. It's because of the snow. There is lots of snow. We are going to be getting going very soon with this terrific matchup. There are the Mohawk Mountaineers, the inaugural team in College Sixes lacrosse in Ontario, in Canada, and they were part of our Sixes showcase last year, um, playing a Toronto team. Who did they play last year?
They played Chaos
Yes,
from Milton.
Milton Chaos. This year, they're going to be playing that team right there, the Humber Hawks. And Humber is here with a full squad. They are fired up, raring to go. They've only played a couple of games this season. Mohawk's got about 7 or 8 games in, and these teams did play earlier in
Yes,
the
they
year.
made history together. The
Yeah,
first time two Canadian colleges have played against each other in lacrosse, and this is an exciting time for the sport in Ontario.
and the creases are coming out. They are going to be put out. They have got the temporary creases. Hopefully, we can get a shot of that. I'll be right back, Jim.
So, folks, you are watching Baggataway Cup weekend. This is the 40th annual Baggataway Cup, the Canadian University Field Lacrosse Association's championship. But this is a special treat this morning. It is the College Sixes Showcase. Once again, your teams are the Humber Hawks and the Mohawk Mountaineers.
The
Now,
creases are
Stamper,
going out.
yeah, Mohawk, of course, is loaded with guys from the Six Nations Rebels as well as the Hamilton Bengals. We're still waiting to get final rosters for Humber, but there's a ton of lacrosse talent out on this field.
There is, and we're going to keep repopulating. Just go to CUFLA.ca and you will see the rosters. I know I was down there chatting with the coaches, and it's Tanner Thompson for Humber and Andy Secor for Mohawk. They were getting their players to put their names and numbers into the game sheet on the iPad, so it'd be all ready to go. Shane's going to run everything. It's tethered to his phone. So we have a lot of people contributing to making this happen this morning. We've got Mark Stellan here on the PA, Scott Fox, our commissioner slash DJ. We've got so much going on.
Well, and you mentioned Thompson and Secor. How amazing is that to have coaches of that quality
Yeah.
already in this league? And we talked about it last year at the inaugural event. So exciting that CUFLA has decided to expand into the colleges for lacrosse because there's just a whack of talent at the collegiate level, and we're going to see two teams full of that sort of talent about to get underway in the fastest and most exciting version of lacrosse, sixes.
So last year, the score was, I remember we had a little running bet. Was somebody going to get 20 goals? And they did. It was what, 23-19 or
23-19, I believe.
23-19,
Yep.
we think was the score, with Mohawk pulling it out, did they not? Over Milton?
They did. They
Yes.
came from behind, as is very common in sixes.
Yes. Well, it is and it isn't, right? Because sometimes if you figure out how to play the defense, because it's not a super physical game, if you can get up by a few goals, like if you're playing at the international level and Canada gets ahead of you by 3,
Fair enough.
forget about it, right? They know how to take, because they're going to keep scoring, right? It's hard to stop. You just don't shut people out for entire quarters of that.
You
But there,
absolutely do not.
no, but there is the opportunity. There's the opportunity to score a bunch of goals. Now, these two teams played earlier this year, and Mohawk won that one. But it was like 16-12 or something, and they had two players score 8 goals each. They've got Duncan Cart playing. They've got one other, I think, is it Dawson Brown that played last year? Was that the one?
I believe so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they've got those guys who are just dominant. They have a bunch of other players. Not a huge roster today. We are going to have the Haudenosaunee and Canadian anthems, and then we're going to be ready to roll. All right, it is a beautiful morning for lacrosse, Diamond Jim, and they've cleared the center line. They've got the goal lines cleared, the sidelines cleared. We'll see how that lasts because there is a bunch of snow coming down today.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's going to be an interesting day in Brampton because the snow shows no sign of letting up.
Just wait till the 1 p.m. Baggataway Cup championship game between the Guelph Griffins and the Nipissing Lakers, Nipissing's first ever championship game. That should be an instant classic. We've been hyped about how good a game that should be. Nipissing playing so well. The Never Say Quit unorthodox. Somebody was describing them as a team that don't look always great like that. And this was somebody quite close to the team was saying there are times I'm like, what are you guys doing? There are times like, how do you stop this? Jason Knox yesterday, 9 points, 3 goals, 6 assists.
I think
Was it a
66
force?
points on the season
Yeah,
now for Knox. Like,
yeah,
he's unstoppable.
yeah,
But I say that if there's one team that can stop him, it's Guelph.
yeah. Guelph. Everyone talks about you know the dynamic duo of Will McLeod and Liam Aston, but there's a lot more. They were the top two scorers in the league. Then Zach Tarr and Jason Knox from Nipissing were third and fourth. Um, but that is going to be fantastic, and even snow here, we think. But right now, we are all sixes all the time, and it is Humber versus Mohawk. Mohawk is wearing their kind of orangey brown. They are going left to right, and we believe they're the home team. The Humber Hawks are wearing their white, so you may or may not be able to see them other than the ones wearing dark tights, but they are out there. You'll see the yellow numbers once in a while. Love those numbers as an announcer.
Yes, a little easier than last night's numbers in the
Yeah,
dark.
yeah.
And I'll tell you, Fans, if you want to see how Nipissing and Guelph got to today's huge final, make sure you check us out on social media at CUFLA Lacrosse. There are incredible highlights, great photos. You can get all the stats and learn more about the best field lacrosse league in Canada.
Yeah, CUFLA.ca for the website to get to the games and the schedules. Like Jim said, the at CUFLA Lacrosse for all the socials. Instagram is rocking. And go to Stamplax YouTube. Well, you're at Stamplax YouTube, but go to the list for this tournament. The Baggataway Cup games are all up. And we got more coming, but right now we're getting ready. And a bit of a short roster for Mohawk. They have just 9 players.
That's one of the great things about sixes and why it's so appropriate for the college market is you don't need 50 people like on your roster like
Yep.
on a US roster or something like that. You can run with a dozen, 15 guys and still have an exciting season, and we're about to see the talent on display.
Yeah, Mo, you do like more than 9, though. I'll
Oh
tell you
yeah.
that. Andy Secor wishes he had more than 9 guys.
Trust me, after coaching all fall in girls U19, over 10 is a big difference maker.
And again, go to CUFLA.ca. We do have the rosters gradually coming in. We have the goaltenders, Nolan Harrington and Aaron Montague are the goalies.
Montague, Hamilton Bengals Junior B box lacrosse goalie, and obviously attending school close to home and bringing his talent to the Mountaineers.
That is Montague in the net that you see to your left, or you will see in a moment as Humber comes to the net, and there's the first save of the game or a blocked shot. They will come fast and furious. We have the yellow ball, so you'll hopefully be able to see it. Yeah, actually, you can see that pretty well. And Mohawk heading up into the offensive zone. Hard rip, and there's a save by Nolan Harrington. I was having a chat with Nolan Harrington before the game. I was like, "What gear do you have on?" He has a football girdle, so he's got like the hip pads and the thigh pads. So he's like, they stop at the knees. He's got the big goalie jock, and he's got the chest protector, and that's it. Gloves and helmet, throat guard, and a hoodie. Here is Humber with their first real drive of the net and the first goal. I don't think we're going to have time to show a lot of replays. I'm going to get some.
Not
Maybe
sixes.
we'll pick at them. It's a whole different experience. Announcing, broadcasting, playing, obviously. And here's Mohawk looking to tie this one up. These teams did have a very good game earlier in the year, and they've played some games. Oh, there's a chance, almost getting a great save, and there's the first goal for Mohawk. We're all tied up at 1. We will do our best to keep the scoreboard caught up. But
well, you're a wizard stamper, but I don't even know if you can keep
oh
up.
no. Last year we had what was it 42 goals in the game in 32 minutes of playing time. So that gives you an idea of how this thing goes. There's a rip. That one's a little bit wide. There's no backup in sixes. So you see the team shoots and goes out of bounds. The other team gets it. So Aaron Montague will start with possession for Mohawk.
Well, for any of you fans who haven't seen sixes before, this is the version of the sport that's going to be in the LA Olympics. So our top athletes in Canada and in the Haudenosaunee the Iroquois team are preparing for the Olympics, and this is a great preview of what we're going to see there.
And the U.S. who are pretty good as
Forget
well.
about them.
Yeah, they're among the top 2 teams. Canada's won every sixes game though in with the men, and I think the women like at the Super Sixes in Oshawa a month or so ago, the women for Canada split into 2 teams, so it became much more challenging for them. But they played very well as well. Here's a pass down low, and you can see that is Raina Warnell, who plays for the Mississauga Badgers in women's major series lacrosse, and for Ireland. Played at the World Championships last year. Gets away with a little bit of a ward off. Gets checked. Not a lot of physical checking allowed. She's going to get a rip from the outside with about 6 left on the shot clock. And she's going back. She said she likes to go up, back, off. But she is a D player by trade. She plays mostly O here.
Well, there are no D players in sixes.
No.
Everybody's got to get up that field and become a scoring threat. In fact, one of our box player. Oh, here's a good opportunity.
Didn't see what that call was.
I think it was
Kudos.
an illegal pick.
There you go. Kudos to our refs for being out here too. It's a different environment for lacrosse with the snow. I love it. I think now we're up in a booth. We're very comfortable. I've been walking down
It's
on the
beautiful
field,
up
walking
here.
around. Yeah, I think it's a great day. There's a shot that goes a little bit wide. It'll be Mohawk possession. I think I just have a fond spot for it because in my Borough Boys League, we had a big time snow game a few years ago. I scored 11 goals that night.
I
Not
don't
even
believe
kidding.
you.
It was unbelievable, and it's so funny because one of the kids that plays with us was saying, "Wow, you really—I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it. Yeah, he's like, you really dialed down the suck and dialed up the good." And I was like, "Yeah, I had not been scoring much, and everything was going in. I had a sidearm rip from my offside just inside the far pipe that went in, and I'm like, wow, that's not a shot I usually make. Anyway, so I love the snow. It's a little personal thing for me, but hey, this is a lot of fun. I think the players are pretty excited slash trepidatious.
Well, especially for Humber, Mohawk's been here before. Their program's a little more established, but for Humber to absolutely robbed him Harrington the beauty, and then the outlet pass. But yeah, they're being they've got there's great fan support here in the stands, and people watching live on Stamplax. It's an exciting day for these athletes.
Yeah, lots of parents and siblings and girlfriends in the stands. And Humber with a nice turnover, great break, but a nice trail check by number 9 for Mohawk. And we will keep checking for the rosters to populate, but you can check on CUFLA.ca. You can see the scoring. No, not at the moment. We have one goal up. The snow gremlins are creating challenges for everyone. We had well as you all didn't hear off the top of the broadcast, I did a test before. We had sound, everything was great. We had sound in the begin short in the pregame set, and then we go live and there's no sound.
It's the
No
snow.
sound. So we just do a little fiddling. It comes back. It's the nature of the beast when winter decides to make a bit of an early entrance. Here comes Mohawk. They seem to like to have one person in the middle there, rip from outside, but it hits the crease, kind of bounces that around.
I like that shot though, Steven.
Oh yeah,
That's really difficult for a goalie to read. The only thing is the snow is going to affect those bounce shots, and typically, I always coach shoot low,
yeah,
get to change in elevation on your shot,
yeah.
but the snow is going to slow up some of those bounces and perhaps give an advantage to the keepers.
Both coaches were saying today that's a 10-second count. You have to get over center in 10. There's a 30-second shot clock, and both coaches were telling their teams and saying to me, yeah, bouncers are not going to be the way to go today because they'll tend to die in that snow, especially because it is fairly thick.
And a
Obviously,
little wet.
and a bit wet. Yeah, where the goalies are, it gets cleared out a little bit. Of course, it looks like a baseline at Wimbledon, right? You get in this case, the green spot at Wimbledon. It's the brown on the green. Shot from outside off the post. Almost found that one. And both these teams fairly new to a lot of players fairly new to the sport. You're saying a lot of Bengals, a lot of Rebels and things. So Mohawk does have some experienced players. Humber has some experienced players for a lot of guys. And, well, no, they're not girls because Raina Warnell definitely knows the game. But a lot of the guys are still figuring it out. But, and certainly sixes, everyone's still adjusting to. It's quite a new discipline. And this is certainly a testament to how challenging it is to adjust to these conditions. That it's 1-1 as we go into the final 30 seconds of this first of 4 8-minute running time quarters. I'm assuming we have a timeout since everyone. Oh, no, it's just a slow change. What on earth is happening? Okay, number 9 for Mohawk has the ball back there. Um, Mohawk's only got 4 players on the field.
Looks like
Oh, you know what? They've gone 4-on-4. I think we've just changed to 4-on-4 lacrosse. So I don't see anybody in the penalty areas. The first quarter ends. It's 1-1. Last year, 42 goals. We've had 2 through a quarter this year. So
well,
wild.
it shows what weather conditions can do. And players a little tentative. ball's not moving quite the way that they expect, but still, we saw some great scoring opportunities. They just couldn't cash in. A couple key saves, but there were posts,
Hmm.
bounces in the crease.
So this, I mean, last year we had the Sixes showcase, and Mohawk played, as you said, the Milton Chaos. Mohawk has played 7 or 8 games this year so far. Humber has played two, one against Mohawk,
And one against Laurier,
one
which is a
against
win,
Laurier, which
huge
they
win.
won. So, and Mohawk played Western. So they're playing against CUFLA teams, and CUFLA teams will take a handful of their players. A lot of times, some of the younger guys who don't get to play a lot, and they'll go and play here and get them some touches, some reps, get them some time on the field and a chance to compete. And it's great. We're pretty sure there are going to be more teams coming. Like nothing official yet, but there are more colleges that want to be part of this. It could become a whole separate
And it should,
tournament within the Baggataway Cup. We'll need
yeah,
more fields.
I would just love to see that, Stamper.
There's big things happening in CUFLA for the future where I'm pretty confident we're going to spread across the nation. We know there's a fair bit of university lacrosse happening in British Columbia and Alberta. We've got the Muffle, the Maritime University Field Lacrosse League, and they are uh, they are rocking. They had a great season this year, and I don't know if you're going coast. I was thinking about this. If you're going coast to coast, does Halifax count as coast to coast, or do you need to have Memorial University of Newfoundland?
I think we can count Halifax
I
as
think so,
coast to
because that's
coast.
the actual coast, right? Newfoundland is off the coast. But hey, Memorial, if you want to go, I was going to go to Memorial to do my PhD in folklore.
Really?
Wound up going back and doing Olympic trials for rowing instead. Um, but I think I can't wait. I'd love to get out to St. John's. It is one of the Newfoundland, one of the only provinces. I think it's the only province I haven't been to.
Now you mentioned the expansion
Yeah.
of CUFLA, but always on the top of mind are students who are going to Canadian
Yes.
universities who might want to play lacrosse
Hmm.
in post-secondary. There is a recruiting page on CUFLA.ca that has all the information that parents and players might want to learn about. As you know, we got the 2008 born kids
Yeah.
headed to university next year. Really valuable information so they can connect with the team at the school they're headed to.
Yeah, ultimately it's going to be the school or the team there that you're going to get in touch with as we have the face-off to start the quarter. You might notice we don't have a lot of face-offs, just one to start each quarter in Sixes lacrosse. And then when a goal is scored, which surprisingly we haven't had much of, they just pick the ball up and off they go. It's more like basketball in terms of the continuous action. And yeah, go to CUFLA.ca. You'll get the information. You'll talk to your school. It is a great option for kids to stay and play in Canada. That's one of our
Nice
niches. Martin
pass.
spin.
Oh,
Great save there. Excellent job.
it's got to be tough for the coaches to adjust here because the fundamentals that you teach just don't apply in a snow game like this.
And you don't get a lot of chances to try it out.
No.
Oh, nice attempt on that feed through. Just gets up and over and heads out of play. We have 14 universities participating right now in CUFLA. 6 in the Eastern Conference, 8 in the West. Here's a chance at a goal. Nice job just fighting through the defensive pressure and burying it. And Humber has moved up 2-1.
And we do have the goals. The first Mohawk goal scorer was number 15, Jake Heinbuck, who's another
Okay.
Hamilton Bengals. So we're starting to get a bit of population in terms of the rosters, and
There we go.
hopefully we'll be able to keep on top of that.
Yeah. Nice pass out front, but the defense closes in. The hardest part of Sixes is learning how to play defense effectively. There's a shot, a save. Great job by Harrington.
Defense is so tricky in sixes. I said our team was the most penalized team in U19, and it's because they were trying to play box defense
Yeah.
and to get out of those habits and realize, it's all about footwork and positioning. It can be a tough adjustment for even the best defender.
The first big international Sixes event, Graham Hossick was one of the Canadians playing. I mean, Graham Hossick is one of the best defenders to ever
On the
set foot on the
planet.
lacrosse floor. That rips a
Absolutely.
little bit wide, but actually backed up by a teammate and goes straight into his stick. And Hossick basically couldn't play because he was just getting penalties all the time.
Yeah.
And he had to adjust. They had to adjust. Now, I think they have adjusted how they're officiating it to allow for a little bit. But Canada, I think that's why they were so successful dominating the first time Sixes was in the World Games in Alabama in 2019. When was that? 23? I don't remember. It was a while ago, but they 2021 World Games in Alabama, and Canada dominated defensively. Great shot
Whoa,
on the run, and Humber is up 3-1.
the Hawks just rolling.
They've obviously got the numbers advantage, but they're playing very well, and they appear to be adjusting a bit more quickly to being able to move and drive towards the net, which is so important.
Well, and Harrington's been so effective at starting their plays. They are coming out of the zone fast every single time.
Yeah, critical to have a good passing goalie. Spinning, shooting, another save by Harrington. Goes straight back to the Mountaineers. That rip is blocked out front. I'm not sure blocking shots is going to be fun today. That ball's got to be heavy and stinging.
Mohawk retains possession, though.
And a little toss up to get the snow off the ball. Those are the little adjustments you got to make. And there's a blast from outside that goes in. It's 3-2. And there's the outlet pass. The catch. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful.
That is Sixes lacrosse
All right,
right
we're going to
there.
run that replay because that's just fantastic. And we'll tell you what's happening. They're coming forward slowly, Mohawk. Look at this.
When
Great
I talk
work
about
on
how
the camera, Allison
exciting
Harding,
Sixes
too.
lacrosse is, yeah, kudos to our camera woman. Fantastic capture there. And here's another quick outlet.
As we come back, Harrington's making another pass after a save to outlet it. What a great job.
Unfortunately, doesn't
Or was
look
that a
like
goal? I'm not even sure.
doesn't look like we're going to get the Humber roster, and we do apologize to all these great athletes. Sometimes technology just doesn't go your way.
Harrington is going to start. He steps inbounds, and he's looking down the field. He will settle for the short pass begrudgingly. You can tell he loves getting. He was the most animated player. And here's a chance the other way. What a goal!
Wow.
Brilliant finish. It's 5-3 for the Humber Hawks. They really want this game, but Harrington, the most animated this morning of the guy. He was outside checking things out, moving around. He's a very lively character. A lot of fun chatting with him.
Goalies are always characters.
Yeah, you gotta be a special breed to play net in this game. Nice pass in the middle. Great work through the D, and that one's in.
Yeah, Harrington just lost sight of the ball. He still doesn't know where it is.
Is he saying, oh, yeah, it's right in the back? He couldn't get to it. Blue Jays fans having visions of the World Series. That ball getting lodged in there.
I think he found his water bottle.
Yeah, he had to move the water bottle out to the side. We've got 2.5 to go here in the first half, the second quarter of the game. It goes fast, these games. And Harrington will rip
another
one down
bomb.
The field. That's a little bit too high.
You know what? I absolutely love that strategy. You've got guys who can catch out there. It's very hard for the defender to quickly pivot on this snow. Well, look at this going the other way. Great D. Beautiful defense there.
Good hustle and tenacity. And Mohawk still with possession. They got 15 on the shot clock. Lots of time to work with.
Good save.
Oh, and he's got a man up the field. There's the catch. Good hustle back in defensive transition, but there is an opportunity coming. They're going to spin back out, and Humber will set up.
Both teams really seem to have adjusted.
Oh, wide open look there. Yeah. Sorry, I'm answering something in the booth. That was a goal. Yeah. Looked like it to me. Yeah.
Scoring coming fast and furious here.
Yeah, after that 1-1 first quarter, it was just an anomaly. Everyone's adjusted. And Harrington is going to pick that ball up with his hand in behind the net.
You get warmed up a bit. You and I have both played outdoors in cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it takes a quarter or a period or whatever to get the blood flowing and feel your feet and your hands.
A good number of the Humber players out there in shorts. And I'm not sure if that's just a braving the elements thing or poor planning. They didn't bring some tights or sweats. I would be wearing something to cover my legs in these, but hey, they seem to be doing just fine. Great chance on the crease. Oh, a defender gets a piece of that one. And, not a lot of teams have figured out how to play effective defense in sixes, but Humber is really taking a bit of a lead in that. And look at that. With the goalie out.
Harrington just whacking Lumber.
Oh, that's in the crease. Oh, it's like they call it a goal. I thought it was in the crease.
Well, the referee was in the right position, so
He was
had
right
perfect
there.
view.
He was right there.
Harrington agrees with you, though. He's not happy with that at all.
So 6-5, Humber leading Mohawk as the final seconds of the first half tick down.
And I think Harrington took a slashing penalty as well right before the goal.
Oh,
One of his teammates will serve it.
He had a good whack.
He had about
Really
3 good whacks, Stamper.
So, loving it. We are going to have a quick halftime break of 5 minutes.
And before we go, don't forget the main event coming up at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Guelph Griffins versus the Nipissing Lakers for the Baggataway Cup Championship. Stamper, it's going to be incredible.
It is. I mean, again, the 4 leading scorers in CUFLA playing in the tournament, but also these are very good defensive teams. We've got Connor O'Toole in net for Nipissing doing Teachers College up there after a career where he did win a Baggataway Cup with Brock, although he wasn't playing that year. He was a backup. So he'd love to win one as the starter, as the main man. For Guelph, everyone talks about all the scoring. They score so much, 118 goal differential, unbelievable, plus 118. But their only reason the differential is that big is because their defense is among the best in the league and their goaltending as well.
It's this 40th anniversary of this championship, and this could be the greatest final we've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, there've been some pretty great finals. Some overtime. The last time Guelph was in the final was in North Bay a few years ago, and they actually went to overtime. They lost that one to Brock,
That's right? Yes.
They had their chances. So
that was a great final.
That was awesome. So there's a high standard to live up to. We've had years and years of great finals.
I completely agree, but I think the conditions are set for this one to be historic.
It's going to be an epic.
And look at that. We are back already, Stamford. Not even time to catch our breath.
Yeah. No, I think they asked the players, hey, how long a break do you want? And they're like, we've played 16 minutes. Let's go. Maybe Mohawk was saying give us a couple more minutes since they only have 9 players.
(6-5) for the Humber Hawks. We are starting to get some of the goal scorers in. Hayden Windley has a goal for Humber. Thomas Crossley and Jake Heinbuck have goals for Mohawk.
Yeah, Crossley wearing number 8 for Humber. Jake Heinbuck wearing 15. Have we got it backwards? Is it Aaron Montague, the goalie for Humber? No,
Aaron Montague
is Nolan
the
Harrington.
goalie for Mohawk.
Yeah, okay. And
I know that for sure.
Okay, and Nolan Harrington is the guy. I was just looking, double checking, but yeah. So, what a game.
Yeah, Montague, a product of St. Thomas More Catholic Secondary. His box teams, the Hamilton Bengals, they've got a great program running in Hamilton these days.
There's a goal for Mohawk. 5-on-3 situation there.
It really is impressive how the Hamilton-Burlington area has been revitalized as a lacrosse hotbed, Stamper.
It is.
Look at this.
A response, a shorthanded goal.
Harrington no doubt appreciates his buddies bailing him out there. We're not sure if Harrington got 1 or 2 minutes for the slash, but his teammate quietly serving things in the cold.
Yeah, there were 2 players on the sideline. That first Mohawk goal was a 5-on-3, and there's one still over there at the sideline serving, so he'll be released soon. What a pickoff. Mohawk uses their advantage in numbers, but then kind of throws it away. They get it back.
Wind's picked up a little bit.
That's a hard rip. Another save by Harrington. He's looking down the field. Nice outlet pass. Number 10 seems to be a pretty key player for this Humber team. And they have successfully killed. No, they're still waiting for their penalized player to come out. But another shorthanded goal for the Hawks. They go up 8-6. We're 2.5 minutes into the third of 4 8-minute running time quarters.
Humber Hawks leading the Mohawk Mountaineers 8-6, but here's an opportunity for Mohawk.
But Harrington with the save. Boy, he's been really good. And now he's going to get the ball. Nice little fake. And he'll get a chance to make an outlet pass, which I think is probably his favorite part of the game. You can see a little disappointment when he made the save and the rebound got out of the crease.
He seemed pretty excited to slash that guy, though.
Yes, he did enjoy that. It's funny because I was asking Raina Warnell about how they play positionally. Like, do you play D? Do you play O? How do you work it out? And she said, well, you got to kind of play everywhere, but some people try and stay up front. She's out there right now. She's with the red hair coming at the back of her helmet, running nearest to us, right along there. And Nolan Harrington piped up and said, well, I play pretty positional. I was like, yeah, that's why I wasn't asking you specifically. I was like, yeah, you just pretty much stay put. And he's like, well, not really. He loves to get out and get involved in the passing and the defense. What a character. What an active player. Great game here. Humber up 8-6. And this is huge. I mean, they don't get a lot of chances to play. So this means a ton to them. Nice little spin, but defensive effort. There's the slide help. Somebody's open if there's a double team. Oh, it gets through. Goal, Mohawk. What a brilliant finish.
Harrington guessed, but he guessed wrong that time. He's been more right than wrong today, but that time it didn't go his way. Warnell about to move the ball up the field. Not quite the pass she was hoping for.
Here's a pass through the middle. That one gets away and will get out. That's going to be another factor. It's interesting, especially closer to the sidelines and in the end zones where there's less play. You're going to see, or towards the end zone, we're going to see that in the Baggataway Cup Championship this afternoon too, where balls that are rolling are going to slow down. Balls that normally would get out of play, as there's a shot, a save by Harrington, they're not necessarily going to go out.
And it really impacts because when you've played as long as some of those players who are in that finals you have instincts in terms of that there's no chance on that ball. I don't need to hustle down. They're going to have to run down every single ball.
Yeah, and that of course opens up things in behind, depending how it works out. Nice catch on the run on a lovely little touch pass. I'm not sure Montague was really ready for that shot.
He wasn't, but thankfully it went wide for Montague.
We're seeing both the goalies when balls go out of play, picking the ball up with their hands because it saves you having to kind of scoop the snow out of your stick. All these little adjustments you've got to make as we're into the final 3 minutes of the third quarter.
Well, you also want to make sure that good opportunity here. You want to make sure that your stick doesn't get too wet because that can really affect your passing. The mesh gets heavier.
There's a goal for Mohawk.
We're tied 8-8.
But I mean, how do you keep your stick from getting wet?
Well, you can make it less wet by not digging in the snow for a loose.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So the scoring is definitely picked up after that very quiet first quarter. It's going to be interesting to see because for us, it's going to be well into the day by the time the championship starts. Nipissing and Guelph at 1 p.m. here on Stamp Black's YouTube. But for them, it's going to be fresh. Again, will they go through the same kind of feeling out process early in the game?
Montague aggressively out on the ball carrier. Great battle for the loose ball. Montague positioned himself really well. I liked how he got in between the ball and the Humber player that drew the whistle in possession for the Mountaineers.
And he clamped down hard on that ball as he was knocked to the turf.
Illegal screen there. Will be a Humber ball as we head close to the final minute of this quarter.
They make their way up over center. Slowing things down a little bit. Minute and a half to go here in the third. I'm Stephen Stamp with Jim Lowe. Oh, nice check by Montague.
Yeah, I think Montague looked at what Harrington was doing. He said, I'm going to step up my game, and he's had a sensational quarter.
Great check there. Trail check chopping down on the stick. Things are getting a little more physical. There's going to be a call there. I found that as the Sixes discipline has evolved. Here's a chance and a goal. Hard to stop that one right on
Wow.
top of the crease. And Mohawk takes their first lead of the game, going up 9-8 in this final minute of the third.
That's a
But
beauty. You know he's going to be watching that on Stamplax
there
later.
you go. Humber pushing into the offensive zone. Little directing of traffic with the head. That was by Jake Heinbuck.
Heinbuck scored earlier in the game.
Humber with the ball. Definitely looking to tie things up. Oh, but they leave it there. Here's a wide open break. Great trail check. Penalty coming as he fights off that check and scores the goal anyway. It's a slashing call, so it's going to be an and one where they get the goal and the Humber player is going to go to the penalty box.
And here's the thing, after trailing the entire game, Mohawk now has a 2-goal lead, and that's the way Sixes rolls.
It is. So we're through 3 quarters. We got 8 minutes more to play. I'm Steven Stamp with Diamond Jim Lowe. And
fans, if you're enjoying this game, make sure you join us at 1 o'clock for the Baggataway Cup final between Guelph and Nipissing. But also, give us a follow on social media at CUFLA Lacrosse. You'll get lots of great highlights, photos, videos, information about the championship teams and about this Sixes showcase.
Yeah. And you've still got time to get down here.
Absolutely.
To Terry Fox Stadium. It's going to be an instant classic.
City of Brampton has been such an incredible host for the entire weekend. Yep. We've seen sensational lacrosse. A lot of fun last night with the rookie game. We saw some of the greatest lacrosse goal celebrations of all time. Would you agree, Stamper?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm also a little transfixed by the official out shoveling, taking on an extra role. You see that? That is a trooper. I'm not sure who that is. We don't have the list of refs for this one, but
he's got great form. Great form though. Like look at that.
We see the center line. That's all they're going to do, I would think. There's not much time to do more, but what a great job getting that center line cleared so we can see. I guess we won't have a face-off because of the penalty.
That's correct.
And so we don't even have the fourth quarter face-off.
Mohawk will start with the ball. Currently holding a 2-goal lead in the CUFLA College Sixes showcase. And can't wait to see what is going to happen in future years as CUFLA expands into the colleges with this great Sixes program. Any school in Ontario could add Sixes without difficulty, Stamper.
It's true. Just go talk to your administration at your school and tell them you want to play.
That's exactly what happened with Humber. We were talking about Raina Warnell earlier. She was one of the driving forces between bringing it to Humber. Mohawk had the same thing a couple of years ago.
Big save, Harrington. Outlet pass. He's not the only one who likes to push the pace. As Humber driving up the field. Oh, they've got a man in the back door. They're going to take the rip of a shot. I like the pass on that one. Montague trying to go down the field as well. You can see by the way the snow is blowing left to right. Great shot by Allison Harding to zoom in over on the reeds across behind the field to show the way that the snow is blowing left to right. We got a bit of wind, and that can be tricky for long passes like they're trying to make quite often. You're throwing into the wind, it tends to beat it down a little bit. You're throwing with the wind, it can make it hard to just gauge how it's going to go. You can maybe overthrow a bit, but.
And how great has Allison been this weekend? Braving
awesome.
the conditions, giving us sensational.
Oh, what a save! Oh, and another! Oh, that's a goal.
Oh, I thought Harrington had the second shot as well, but brilliant first save. 11-8. Mohawk trying to pull away. Montague with a big one there, Stamper.
And he's going to make the long pass. That's going to be picked off, though. And again, that's into the wind. Can be a little bit tricky. Yeah, penalty coming. That was what I was going to say. He's just hanging on to the back of the jersey. So that's going to be a holding call on Mohawk.
And Humber needs this. And it's interesting, Mohawk with the shorter bench, as you pointed out at the start of the game. But it's Humber that seems a bit tired now. They seem to be on their hind legs. the Mountaineers all over them.
It's actually a slashing call, so Humber will have a chance to benefit by scoring some goals here. You're going to want to just keep rolling.
Good pass.
Oh, what
Yep.
a rip. Beautiful shot. Now this is part of why comebacks are a little harder in sixes at times because you don't get the ball, you don't get a chance to go have a face off and make it and take it, right? There's a save. Oh, put back. Harrington's making the first stops, but he's not quite controlling his rebounds as he would like in this half. It's tough when a shot hits you in the chest
Well,
to
especially
stop
with
it.
snow blowing in your eyes and over and back. That'll be a
Oh, that's a
Mohawk
tough one.
possession.
You got to leave that, and you got to back up a little. You can't stand right on top of him. There we go. Play is blown back in as we're about 5:20 to go here in the fourth. I'm Steven Stamp with Jim Lowe. Thanks for being with us at the Sixes Showcase. Here's a chance and a rip. Oh, that's in a flash. And
Everything
Mohawk.
going
Oh
Mohawk's way
my
right
goodness,
now.
they've really come on. Doesn't feel like very long ago that we were saying Mohawk took their first lead. That was at 9-8, was it not?
It
Yeah.
was, yep.
So it's been quite a run for them since. And 5 minutes to go, a 4-goal lead. Mohawk can use up their 30 seconds, and you can see how patient they're being now. This is actually a very slow possession by Sixers standards. They're going to get the jump shot and the goal to pad that lead a little bit more.
And this is where sixes becomes a lot more like box, where you start using the clock. You've got a lead late in the game.
Reno Ronell with the shot. I'm not sure if it was intended to be a shot or a pass, but I say take a shot there.
Yeah, not a great position for one, but yeah, they need a goal. So
Yeah,
you
yeah. I
want
mean,
your
there's
players
4:20 to go,
shooting.
and they're down by 5. Again, Mohawk taking their time, eating up. It's tough because you don't get to play a lot of games. You want to just go play, but you also want to play smart. I'm sure Andy Secor is saying, hey, let's be patient. But they get one wide there, and it's going to be Humber possession. A Mohawk player saying, hey, it went off the goalie. It was a touch. We should get the ball back. But the adjudication is it will be Humber ball. The Hawks.
Harrington airing it
Long
out
pass.
again, but
Not quite there. Now, Montague was reaching for that one, and it did touch him, and
yep,
that
that was the
is a bit of
correct
a
call.
mistake. Yeah, it's a correct call. He should just let it go.
Well, then Humber, they're feeling the pressure of that clock. They rushed the pass there,
Yeah.
and now it's back to a Mohawk possession.
3:25 to go here in the fourth. A 14-9 Mohawk lead. They are the driving force so far in college sixes lacrosse in Canada. There's another one. They have just run away.
But let's give credit to the Humber Hawks, first year team making history appearing in this game, and they certainly have brought the entertainment value. We've seen sensational goaltending from them and some pretty sweet goals.
There's a chance. Is Montague really getting active out there and setting some challenging situations for himself? But Humber maybe getting a little overexcited, hasn't been able to take advantage. Nice save, Harrington. He's going to get out and get after that rebound. The Mohawk player landed in the crease, kind of took part of it with him. And Humber's going to try and drive forward with 2.5 to go. Oh no, they're going to give the ball to Mohawk. I think saying that Montague or Harrington was a little bit over aggressive.
I think that was the call, yeah.
Getting out defending his crease. Dylan Ward would say, let him defend his crease. I can't speak for Dylan, but I've heard him talk to him enough about it. He's saying, hey, what's a goalie supposed to do? If you're around the crease, he's going to come out and he's going to defend his area. I like it. What a rip. Was that a save or was it wide? The officials looked to each other. Good communication. Yeah, no, I like that. They're saying a reset as it went off of Harrington.
Does not agree with that.
Oh, and he actually flipped the ball back deeper into the end zone, which really should be a penalty. I mean, is it delay a game if you flip the ball when it's already out of play?
It is, actually.
It is, right?
But it's a referee's discretion.
Yeah, because the guy would have gone and just got that one. 1:38 to go. Oh, another blast. The Mountaineers just on fire here.
I believe that was Dawson Brown with the most recent Mohawk goal, 16-9. What a quarter for the Mountaineers.
Dawson Brown, who was in camp with the Georgia Swarm last year. definitely NLL talent or NLL adjacent level of talent.
Another standout for the Bengals.
Duncan Cart playing for Mohawk. Not sure what number he's wearing, but he is a guy who's excelled in the World Juniors for Poland and has played for Mohawk. He's played in Arena League and in Senior B and very high caliber. He was drafted by the Buffalo Bandits. That's obviously been a pretty tough roster to crack the last few years for the three-time champions.
Great save by Harrington.
Great convergence defensively by Humber to get the ball back. So we're into the final 37 seconds. Nice move by number 10. The pass does get through. Here's a chance. Oh, big save, Montague. And he loves to chop down, getting after that ball, and his teammate will get it. What is the call? We have a timeout. No, a penalty?
Oh, definitely a penalty being called as well. 18 seconds left in the game. And of course, this is just a sampler of the great lacrosse we're going to see today. 1 p.m., the Baggataway Cup Championship Finals, Guelph versus Nipissing. Stamper, how excited are you for that
I'm
game?
pretty fired up. I'm pretty fired up today. I was excited. I got up this morning and went down and checked out the hot tub at the hotel to see if there was, I guess, going to be able to loosen up my back. It wasn't hot yet. Very disappointing. But yeah, we had a little breakfast. We got here and we're here for this fun sixes showcase that the Mohawk Mountaineers have won 16-9 over the Humber Hawks. And I can't wait. I know it's about 2.5 hours away, but I'm ready to go. For the Baggataway Cup Championship, it will be the Guelph Griffins and the Nipissing Lakers at 1 p.m. right here on Stamplax YouTube. Check out CUFLA.ca to see how everyone got here, the scores, the standings, the schedule, all the stats, and go to, and you can see the live scoring for that on CUFLA.ca. Get to the game sheet and so much more information on CUFLA.ca. Follow at CUFLA Lacrosse on all the socials.
Sensational Instagram content. You know, they had so many awesome highlights, great pictures of the players. Well,
shout out
giving
to
them
Cam
a
Mancini standing right behind us, who's done great work. Mancini Media, taking some great shots, great video, getting those out. And to Graydon Power, who's done our social media work. We've had over 1 million views this weekend.
It shows
in the last month. Sorry,
the interest that there is in Canadian University lacrosse. But if you enjoyed this game, I've also got a recommendation. Hit the subscribe button right here on Stamplax YouTube, because Steven Stamp is an icon in lacrosse, brings so many games from all over North America. So make sure you subscribe, and you'll see the championship game coming up at 1 o'clock.
You've been so great and so nice. Why don't you go ahead and plug your Barrie Wrestling?
I don't need to give them a shout out. No.
Okay. All right.
No problem. I will give a shout out to the stepping stone to Canada's game. We have so many Junior C players in CUFLA, including on the championship team. So make sure you check out some Junior C action in 2026. We've got exciting news. Looks like we may have some new teams entering the league, so you can follow us at Ontario Junior C Lacrosse League.
Love it. And remember, CUFLA.ca, 1 o'clock. Be right back here on Stamplax YouTube for the Baggataway Cup Championships. The post-game pictures have been taken. We are wrapping up. Thank you so much for being with us. We will see you in 2.5 hours.